Good. Oh, good. So do you want us to go back and do that again? Or is that, um, do we have any, we should, if there was anything there, Lisa, should we go back or Ethan, what do you know?
Um,
It might just,
yeah, so Lisa, did it just start recording from the point it said that then? Is that which you're on mute, Lisa? I don't know if you're answering, but
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just checking to see if Luana was already recording as well.
okay.
Sorry, I was not.
okay.
Yeah, so it just started right there. It
Okay,
was
so should
recorded to the
we,
cloud and then it stopped, so I don't know if I can merge the two. If you
Yeah,
want
no.
to make the motion again, that would be great.
or the
I probably-
consensus? Yeah.
Could we start right over? So,
Yeah, we'll start right over, but sorry, Lisa, that was probably my fault that I should have, you didn't have a thumbs up because there were no thumbs to show, but I should have asked if we're ready to go. So this.
Oh, no, that's okay.
It's all coming back to me now. I called the meeting to order at 6:03. And approval of agenda, Councillor Windsor, you spoke to that, so if you'd like to speak to that again.
Okay, so what I suggested is that I think that it would be prudent for us to delay dealing with this item 4.1, the salary grid review, until after we finish our corporate review. I think that based on the results of the corporate review that was done in Red Deer County, all of this will be covered in the review and the recommendation that'll come back from the consultant when we look at that. So my motion or my suggestion is that we accept the agenda as amended with the removal of 4.1.
Okay. And I'll go around again to Councillor Williams. You started that.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that.
Okay. Deputy Mayor,
Yes, it can be removed.
Councillor Moore. These darn machines. Okay, Councillor McCoy.
Yes, that's good.
Okay.
I do have a quick question though. There's nobody that connected. Is the connection online, like available?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, not all of our meetings are really exciting, Councillor McCoy, so other things. So that is consensus to accept the agenda as amended. And so we go on to the March 19th, 2024 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes. Notes, Councillor Windsor, Councillor Williams, you spoke to that.
Yeah, they looked good to me, and I'll move to accept the meeting notes as presented.
Okay, this is just consensus, so that's
Sorry.
everybody, Deputy Mayor, Councillor Windsor, Councillor Moore, Councillor McCoy. Okay, so we'll move forward then with the joint use planning agreement. And Ethan, tell us about this exciting document, or whoever's going to. That we're going to get it done early, I think.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden we we threw this on as a just in case if there's any time left over, but so now we this is wonderful. So yeah, this is the agreement that we're required to have now by legislation. We've had one already. This is kind of an updated version that we worked on with the school board. It's a similar one that they have with the other municipalities they deal with. And at the heart of it is basically just setting forth some agreed upon terms for using each other's facilities, grounds, lands. And the province has given us till basically next year to have this done. So it was brought to council and then sent to committee of the whole. So really, I think the first thing we'll just want to ask is, upon initial review of it, members of the committee, what is there anything that stuck out to you as being something that you wanted to kind of raise for discussion, or that kind of caught your eye as being that struck you a little bit funny?
I guess I wonder, with all documents, did this has been so long since it was tabled, but because we've delayed it to here, did we have another agreement to compare it to?
No.
This, yeah, you know, it's a
And
good
only
question.
the changes I would flag always are the ones that I would compare to an old document. So if this
Yeah.
document, if administration is happy with this document and we didn't have another one to compare it to, and I think that they kind of sent out a template to begin with from my recall.
Yes, they did,
to
because
work
this is
with.
kind of a new, we've always kind of coordinated together, but this is the province saying, we now want you to put in writing what you guys have already done. So, and you're right, this is based on a template. And we had Nicole and with the representative from the district take the template, and there's a few tweaks they made between the two of them. But and then we also had legal review it as well, and legal flagged a few little things that we got, and the district was actually good. They agreed to the thing that our legal said, hey, we'd rather the wording on this part be a little different. So
Councillor Moore?
Yes, I know that from other years when we talked about it, Nicole is pretty pleased with the relationship between the schools and the town and that it works well for them. So I'm thinking that this agreement, if they're okay with that, I'm okay with it. But I do have to, because I guess I'm kind of the historian where a lot of these things happen, because the community expanded the West Glen School, we were supposed to have the use of the gym and the kitchen, and that never, ever happened, even though on that basis was why we expanded the school and fundraised and supplied the money to put in the seating and the extra size and the extra things in the kitchen. And then somehow they just forgot about us doing that and have always stood in the way of any kind of use that we've tried to have there. So it would be nice if somebody could actually find the agreement where they were supposed to have expanded use of the community for the money that we put into it above our education taxes. So I'll just bring that up one more time, even though I don't expect anything to come of it. And I assume that if Nicole and staff are happy with it, that this new agreement must have covered all their bases.
You're just trying to fill time and get us to 6:30.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't care if we don't, but
I have a
do-
question.
Councillor, go ahead.
I'm just curious, like it doesn't, like I know we paid extra into it because I remember that happening. And I think we need to speak up about it because if we don't, we invested that money for no reason. And I know that a lot of the changes didn't happen in the beginning. They happened with the current principal who was getting complaints about the condition in which the room was being left, etc. And but I think we need to negotiate something there. Like either they pay us back and they keep their gym and kitchen, like the kitchen was enhanced to be used by the community, right? So that's my only big concern is that takes place. But the other question that I have is, there's no mention of dollars in the agreement. Does it assume that the rates are secondary, like in another document, or does it assume that the school board can be there for nothing, or?
Yeah, that answer, Ethan?
I know we do have we already have
Your hand.
agreed upon rates for all that stuff. Now with it, I'm just looking through the agreement again here to no, so I don't have that. I don't whether that's specifically, let's see, here we go, fees. So
Yeah.
page 32. We limited to, and it sets out what the fees are for. It doesn't set out what the fees are.
They probably wouldn't, would they, Ethan? Because I mean, it would have to get changed all the time. We changed ours.
Yeah,
It's
that's
in
right.
there.
It's probably you're right. You're right. That's a good point. This is meant to be more of a higher level agreement, not because we do adjust the fees from time to time and which is in our another bylaw that we have for that.
Well, if we have this right now, we forward it to council. Nicole can have that answer for us on
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
meeting
she
it
could.
comes to. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that there are fees and it's covered, but that could probably be identified where they're covered, and that would be fees we have to use our facilities. We don't make, we have special school lesson fees and stuff, but that would be.
Yeah. Yeah. We have special rates that we for all our stuff that when we bring this, we can actually I'll have Nicole put together a little bit of a thing about how fees work.
Yeah. Counselor Williams? Your hand up.
No, my answer was answered already. My question was answered, so it's all good.
Okay. And if anybody decides to build a school here, where do you think we'd put it? Probably over on the same land we're on, hey? I mean, there's lots there that they're not using. I'm assuming that's the right answer that I answered myself. Counselor Windsor?
Thank you, Mayor Hunter. I'm looking at agenda page 34. And not that it's any of our business and not that this is any of our concern or anything, but they have the types of schools and the land needed for the size of site. And we have a school here in Didsbury that doesn't fit into that categories.
There's gonna be a new agreement.
Well, yeah, like I don't know where that would fit. So not that it matters and not that we're going to do anything about it, but we have a high school that doesn't fit.
Why doesn't it fit? Sorry.
Because our high school is 9 to 12,
Oh, right, yeah.
right? Our middle school is 5 to 8.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
special.
Yeah. Yeah. Just not that it makes a difference, just that it's something maybe to note.
Mhm.
That's a good point, Councilor Windsor, because I know some schools go from 10 to 12.
Yeah.
I agree. My other concern then would be, what do we do? Like Carstairs doesn't have a pool, so they bring their kids here. And they're not mentioned at all in this agreement.
Well, they probably don't need to be, just, they would have their own agreement with, they would just pay our fees. In our pool. And Nicole can bring back all those fees for school, whatever, anything to do with school, I'm sure will.
Yeah.
So we agree, so if we if it by consensus, we forward this to council, when would you anticipate bringing that? In 2025, because we're really premature then, aren't we? Have to look at it
Don't want to
again.
be too hasty. No, we could probably just give Nicole a chance to put that together. Yeah, we can plan for that first meeting in May, the one after this one.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything bad about having it done early and off the table,
No,
other than the 5-year period starts when you sign it.
right. True. We want to extend that.
Yeah, we'd make them have a 6-year period in ours because we signed it early.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be good because a new council then would have a little bit of time. They don't have to do it right away. We're signing it early enough.
Yeah. We can bring it in May sometime then. Councilor Williams?
Anyway, I'm just looking then on, this is a little thing, on Schedule A, page 19, the Didsbury Jets play diamond. Should we also, parks, sorry, should we also add like the playground structure as a description of the amenities there in walking path?
Page 19 of the agenda or 19 of the agreement?
19 of the agreement,
Oh, okay.
Schedule A.
So,
'Cause it, So it says name of facility Didsbury Jets Ball Diamond but we just renamed the
Yeah, the park.
place as Didsbury Park, so maybe we say Didsbury Park,
Yeah.
then add in the playground and the path that we have there now, right?
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good catch. Yeah, maybe we should send it back to have just one relook with all any changes because it's been a year since we've seen it, I think.
yeah.
And if Nicole looks at it, maybe it's September it comes back, but just to update it with Chinook's Edge and then bring back anything like that you just caught there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll have Nicole do a full look through the whole thing again because you're right. It has been almost a year since we
Yeah.
even had legal. We had legal go through it, and I was just looking up the old emails with legal about it, and so
And maybe, Mayor, if I could,
Yeah.
I do see like a place in there about meeting with the board. Like, should we meet with the board of school board?
We should do whatever that says in the agreement. So,
I don't know. It's up to council. Like, I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
don't-
Have you had a sit down with them?
you know, I used to meet with Gord Kerr once in a while, just have a coffee, but the council, and they came and presented during COVID. Our principals did. Gord never, I think Gord was there with them that night with our principals. But so all those observations, and maybe now that everybody's starting to read through it, if we read it 2 weeks ago or read it whenever, any observations, I guess, to forward, or to have Nicole update all that, and we absolutely should meet with the board if that's what the agreement says. I think it's a good idea anyway. So maybe there's a lot more to this than just getting it back. That maybe after it's updated, there's some recommendations that come with it as far as
yeah, maybe what I could do is I could have Nicole go through it again, update it with any of those things like the Jets playground part. And then we could send it out, and then over the summer, everyone could take the time to go through it again. We bring it in September, and then everyone has had a chance to kind of do, because I'm guessing, I don't think anyone was expecting we'd spend much time on it tonight. So I'm guessing everyone didn't really spend a lot of time on this part of the agenda.
Yes,
so if we give it kind of
Yes,
over the
we
summer.
did.
Yeah.
we all look through our agenda packages, and I think that's good advice to read it over the summer because Council Deputy Mayor Engel needs something to read out when he's at his camper.
Yeah. And then it gives every council member a chance to really kind of have a good highlight, mark it up, anything that kind of sticks out, and then we can revisit in September.
And have the old agreement. Councillor Moore?
And I don't mind having the old agreement and looking through it again, but I'm wondering if we're making a lot of work for ourselves. This isn't a big part of our council business. And it's a matter of just sharing, and they do it on a regular basis. And I'm sure they don't look up the agreement all the time to see if they're following it. When the school uses something, it's usually something to make a trip to. So it would be like if they're going to the baseball diamond or they're going to a pool, they wouldn't normally make a trip to a playground or a path. Like it's not that's not, that it's changed and the name has changed, and I don't mind that destination changing. But Nicole, I think will have, as I recall, some really good insights on how they negotiate and who she negotiates with, and I'm certain it's not the board. So I'm just wondering if we could talk to Nicole before we put a whole lot of work on our own plates.
Well, the board will look through these. That is our job as governors, to know that our agreements are in place for our municipal land and facilities. And we all trust Nicole, I think, to bring this back the way it needs to be brought back. And then speak to anything that might be standing out with her. I think one of the biggest things too is the commitment to that land. Like, that's a big issue.
We don't have a choice. When we,
Well, that's what I
any
mean.
land is subdivided, you have to have that piece off or give them money for it, one of the two.
I know that, Counselor Moore, that's my point, but it's put into the agreement now, so I have no problem with it coming back. I think it's important. That is our job as governors of use of our facilities that our town enters into, so points are all taken for sure, and I think Ethan heard them. And
It's always been there as far as the land goes.
I have just one more question. We didn't rename it from the Jets Diamond, did we? Is that what Ethan said? Or sorry, Counselor Williams?
well, it's Jets
Um,
Park. But just all the Jets Park surrounding
It's
it.
just called the Jets Park because we did that at the community showcase back in September. We asked people to vote on that.
Right, yeah, I knew that, but
Yeah.
I thought that was just the diamond naming, but that's for the whole park.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just Jets Park. We just basically we just removed Diamond out of it and just rename it Jets Park.
and it might not hurt because if they go any farther down the road and start putting courts and things in, you know, that they could be using other pieces of the park. I don't see a list of the facilities that they have on their land.
You know, yeah, so I think everybody's brought up some good points, and maybe even you kind of captured all this, I think. And I don't want to, like, we're not going to belabor it that I know Nicole would have been happy forwarding this, but if there's a few tweaks to it, I'm sure that's not a problem, and getting things the way they need to be before it is actually signed. And then we still have another year, so if it takes that long, I guess maybe we're premature thinking that we're ready to get it back. But Ethan, even maybe Nicole can take the summer to get it up to where it needs to be, or if there's any changes she sees as well. I mean, she's the one that observes all this and how the joint use happens. So
Yeah, we could just do an administrative review, hold it for the summer, and then just bring it back after the fall. I guess we wouldn't have to really send it out. I mean, everyone's got it, and
Yeah.
we'll highlight any tweaks we make to it.
yeah,
Okay.
so as everybody's scanning through it, there's more coming up. So I think we should scan it on our own time, and if there's anything to come when it comes back to us, we'll be better prepared, I guess, is the best way to put it, because Ethan caught us that we probably weren't expecting to deal with this tonight. So, and we've read it a year ago. Is that fair to everybody? By consensus, we just have it brought back with any tweaks, and if anybody notices anything they'd like, keep your list so that when it comes back, you're ready to speak to it.
I'm good with that.
Great. Okay, by consensus, then we'll have Nicole bring that back when it's ready, since we have a year. And we won't have it on our committee of the whole anymore until it will be brought back. When it's ready, it'll be brought back to council. How's that? That's the consensus that we'll forward? Okay. And then we can adjourn at 6:32, unless, well, I'm not even gonna ask if there's anything else, because there isn't. 6:32,
And it's half an hour, right?
by consensus, yes.
Yes, good.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for the
Right.
short meeting.
Yeah,
Thank you. Have a good night.
you guys
Good
do.
night.
Bye.